The sun begins to set and the rivers continue to flow as we continue to kick off this Sunday night SFL showcase, the 11th all-time meeting between two long-standing SFL franchises. It's Las Vegas against Sioux Falls on a Sunday evening in South Dakota. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Liberty Park alongside producer extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, statisticians Joshua Durr and Stephen Hacker, and my partner SFL Hall of Famer Marcus Dunhill. I'm Tim Hackett. Happy to have you with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Marcus, interesting matchup between two teams still trying to find their footing here in the new look SFL. Feels like as we move towards the halfway point of this season, this will be an important prove-it game for both of these sides.
Absolutely, especially with both teams coming off a loss last week in Week 5. Both teams are looking to bounce back and, focus on the areas that they're good at. You see a lot of passing out of Sioux Falls. They had a lot of numbers through the air last week, so you'd expect them to probably keep at that.
Vegas comes in with the number one scoring defense in the league, Marcus. What do you make of that? Because over the past few seasons, we've seen this team be super boom or bust. Like you just mentioned, a lot of passing, a lot of yards and points given up. But so far this season, 18.5 points per game, far and away the best in the league. They've only played 4 games, but what do you make of that from this team so far?
Well, last week, Julian Tyree, the quarterback of the Sioux Falls Sparrows, had 4 turnovers through the air, 4 interceptions. So it's going to be difficult for Sioux Falls' air attack to match up with the defense of Las Vegas.
One of the best air attacks in the league through 4 games, and Sioux Falls will get the ball first to start off in Week 6. This is rookie Ryan Davis on the return. Sioux Falls wearing the all blacks. Las Vegas will counter with the white tops and black bottoms, and we are underway here from Liberty Park, the 11th all-time meeting between these two longtime franchises. They first met up in Season 11. This is now Season 21 as we continue a new era of SFL football. Julian Tyree has been at the head of the pack for every meeting between these two franchises, now in his 16th season in the league. They will hand it off on the first play of the game, and Jason Williams picks up 5 with the run off the left tackle.
Last week, Julian Tyree had 45 attempts through the air in comparison with only 14 attempts on the ground. So they are a big pass-first team, at least they were last week. So it'll be interesting to see whether they get the ground game a little more involved this week.
Feels like that's kind of uncommon in this era of the SFL. Through 5 weeks or so at least, things can change, but a lot of teams tend to run the ball more than pass. But you're right, Sioux Falls very much not that way. Tyree is 3rd in the league in pass attempts and 3rd in the league in yards with 12.01. But they will run it for the 2nd straight time, and Jason Williams has a first down. 11 yards on 2 carries for Williams to start things off. Here is the offense for Sioux Falls and head coach and owner Jason McGee. Julian Tyree is the quarterback. Jason Williams, the tailback, his 2nd season with the team. Charlemagne Cornelius, the fullback. Wide receivers A.J. Warren, K. Marion, Ryan Davis, and Joseph Bodette. And a pair of tight ends, Eddie Maddox and Ben Harrison. First pass for Tyree, flings it up, and it's swatted away. One-on-one coverage, and linebacker John Osiris makes the play. 2nd down.
Man, throwing across your body, he even had me fooled. I thought the ball was going the other direction. All of a sudden, he turned and flipped the ball off to the left side of the field. And the defender was really paying attention, able to knock that down. Otherwise, I thought he might have gotten away with one there.
Vegas coming off their 2nd loss of the season last week against Portland. Gave up 35 points, only gave up 20 total. Beg your pardon, 30 total through their first 3 games before they gave up 35 last time out. Trying to right the ship defensively. On a boot, Tyree again across his body, and this time he has the completion and a gain of about 16 to A.J. Warren, now in his 11th season with the team that drafted him. And Marcus, he looks like a brand new receiver this year.
Yeah, he had 160 yards through the air last week, which was about a little under half of the yards that Tyree threw. He threw for almost 400 yards last week. The other big chunk, 163, went from K. Marion as well.
Yeah. And through 4 games, Warren is 2nd in the league in receiving yards, and Marion is 6th. Tyree's 3rd in passing, and he will throw it again. Tries to thread it through triple coverage, and it falls incomplete, but we will see our first flag of the day. And it's against Las Vegas. Pass interference against Justin Reside, fifth season corner. And that is a big turn of events on what could have been third down.
You know, when I first saw that live, I didn't even see the Sioux Falls receiver. There were so many Las Vegas defenders in the area. I'm surprised he threw that ball.
And I mean, you're right. Talk about blanket coverage. There were literally three members of the Fury defense right there, and one of them just got to the receiver too quickly, and Sioux Falls got bailed out. Tyree and Warren now working together for the 11th season. Warren on pace for what could be a career season. On the ground they go to Jason Williams, who's also in his 11th season in the league. Second season here with Sioux Falls. He's been kind of off and on this season, Marcus. He's missed some time and has only rushed for 2 touchdowns. Does have a receiving touchdown as well. Beg your pardon. He's only rushed for 1 touchdown. The team has rushed for 2 through 4 games. As a team, Sioux Falls' starters have scored just 5 offensive touchdowns through 4 games. Williams again with the give, runs outside and gets wrestled down by Max Jackson, one of the best tacklers in SFL history. And we've got an injury. Another safety, Mike Jones, is down for the Fury.
Just looking for a spot through the offensive line, could not find a hole, tried to bounce to the outside and just was not able to make it around in time.
Oh, Mike Jones, former London Knight, former Houston Headhunter in his 5th season. Comes over with London unavailable this season, one of 3 former Knights on this Vegas defense, but he is injured. We'll get you an injury update on him as soon as we can. Williams with a gain of just 1 after that hit by Jackson. And a stacked Fury secondary is going to have to reshuffle. Tyree has all day, now fires over the middle, and Warren makes the catch at the 4-yard line. Tyree had a full year to throw that ball and finally links up with A.J. Warren. The Sparrows will have 1st and goal.
No doubt, Julian Tyree, one of the best throwers of the football in the SFL. If you give him enough time, he's going to find somebody open. And of course, he happens to find one of his top receivers as well. And he actually just barely got enough separation to catch that football. I think Tyree had a lot of trust in A.J. Warren that he'd basically get thrown open and have just enough space to catch the ball.
Not saying this would have changed things completely, Marcus, but that's the area of the field where Mike Jones normally patrols, the free safety. If he's out there, maybe that completion doesn't happen. Either way, it's 1st and goal officially from the 3. Deep drop for Tyree. Hits Jason Williams, and he strolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux Falls. They go all the way down the field on their first drive. 3rd total touchdown this season for Williams.
His 23rd career receiving touchdown. I thought it was a great choice. When you're that close to the goal line, what do you want to do? You want to give it to your powerful players. If you need to stiff arm somebody, Jason Williams will do it for you.
Well, look at the push out blocking on the outside that Sioux Falls got as well. Number 2 tight end Eddie Maddox doesn't have a catch yet in his rookie year, but he helped to flesh outside and pave the way for Williams to make that catch. 2nd receiving touchdown, 3rd total score for the veteran tailback, the guy they call Thrilliums in the league because of how exciting he can make plays. 8 plays to go 69 yards, and this offense looked about as good as you would imagine.
Yep, I was a little worried going into that we might see an interception from Sioux Falls, and there was a couple plays where Tyree probably wished he could have got that ball back, but he made good choices, and they made it all the way down to the end zone.
You make a good point. Remember, they did get bailed out by that pass interference. It could have been 3rd and long on triple coverage, but instead, the penalty was awarded. Sioux Falls had new life, and they take full advantage. They score early on a Vegas team that, again, averages only 18.5 points allowed this season, fewest in the league. The league average is 29.4, so they're 10 points under the league average defensively, and they give up a touchdown on their first drive. There's a look at Eric Price in his 2nd season as the signal caller for Vegas. He spent his first 3 seasons as the QB of this team's arch rivals, the Denver Nightwings. And here's Hubba Kimbrell. We talk about a renaissance season for A.J. Warren for Sioux Falls, Marcus. How about Hubba Kimbrell, journeyman, former tight end, that's having the best season of his career as the featured tailback?
So last week, they were not a pass-heavy team. Price only had 212 yards through the air. 212 yards to the air, but Kimbrell had 216 on the ground.
He outrushed his previous season total last week alone. He's going to get stood up there. Great one-on-one tackle by Marcus Benson, rookie outside linebacker. Kimbrell last season rushed 22 times for 68 yards as the number 2 tailback behind Scott Johnson. And last week alone against Portland, 30 carries for 216 yards. He's a brand new back this season as the feature back. Early 3rd down and 9 for Price. Feels some heat, fires over the middle and swatted away. Going center of the field for Jacob Morrison, the rookie wide receiver. But great coverage by this very veteran Sioux Falls secondary as Jay Ringgold on the stop.
While we're talking about Kimbrell's 68 yards entirety of last season, how about the fact that 62 of his yards from last week came in a single run? He almost had a run as long last week as the entirety of last season.
Very well played. And again, out of the shadow of Scott Johnson, if you will, who's now tried to find greener pastures in San Diego, it's now Hubba Kimbrell's show, and he gets absolutely nothing on his first drive of the day. And Sioux Falls, fresh off of that first scoring drive, will take back over. Vegas is 2-2. They lost last week. They've alternated their records so far. Win-loss, win-loss. In their 2 wins this season, they've outscored their opponents by a combined 56 points. And their 2 losses have been by a combined 15 points. So when they win, it hasn't been close. When they've lost, it has been close. A weird season so far for the Fury, who find themselves down 7-0 here in the first quarter. Tyree sachets, fires, and swatted away. He nearly threw that right to Andre Tucker, the rookie cornerback, and Tyree dodges a bullet there.
I think Tyree was feeling some pressure. You could see him drifting to the side of the pocket and then turning and letting the ball go. I think he didn't quite get enough on that ball to get it over the head of the defender. But it looked like a pretty good choice because his receiver looked like there was some space if he could get the ball over the defender.
Was wide open, just did not throw it far enough. 2nd and 10, and Tyree, one of the pass-happiest quarterbacks in the league so far. Going to pass again, or tried to at least. He got waylaid as he got rid of the ball. Thrown down by Anthony Stover, who has yet to record a tackle this season in 4 games, but very nearly had his first sack.
See what Sioux Falls draws up for 3rd down. On the last drive, that 3rd and 5 was the pass to A.J. Warren to keep that drive alive and get him into the end zone on the next play. Let's see what they want to do on 3rd and long. They got the receivers to make big catches.
Warren had 42 receiving yards on just 2 grabs on that first drive for Sioux Falls before Williams scored the touchdown. Tyree to throw again. Great protection this time. Now he sees it run out. Fires and over the top of his target. He was going for Warren. You were right on that one, Marcus, but 2 Fury defenders were there, and Tyree's pass airmailed it.
Yep, the pass just a little bit too far. I think, again, he was feeling the pressure drifting out to the outside of the pocket and was just not able to get it to A.J. Warren, unfortunately for them.
So we will see a punt. Rare setup here in the SFL. Both of these 2 teams have a featured punter on the roster. Still not something that is necessarily very common, and a great return here for Vegas off of that punt by Doug Britton, who is still returning kicks consistently for this squad, and a good return off of the first punt of the game.
I'm interested to see what Vegas is going to do. They definitely were a run-first team last week. I want to see if they get some of the receivers in the mix this week.
And Price has had a solid season so far. 5 touchdowns, 4 picks, quarterback rating of 60, which doesn't sound very high, but it is still good for 7th in the league. Again, Kimbrell, one of the most successful tailbacks in the league. 3rd in carries and yards and touchdowns through 4 games. They will toss it to him. Kimbrell, nothing doing. Stood up immediately by Jason Strongbow, the veteran middle linebacker. Let's introduce you to the Vegas offense for head coach John Bond. They've got a pair of quarterbacks, a unique setup, in Eric Price and rookie switch thumper. Hubba Kimbrell is the tailback. Brad Taylor Wright is the fullback. And a stacked cupboard of wide receivers. There's 6 of them on the roster with 2 tight ends. The offensive line, Sam Yeager and Ovayanda. Here's Kimbrell. Nothing, good run for him there. Give him about 6 off left tackle. Here's the wide receiving core. We mentioned it's stocked. A couple of veterans and 3 rookies. Barney Burner, Jacob Morrison, Alice Itera, sophomore Prince Wonder, and the veterans Mason Kirby and Doug Britton, along with tight ends Ron O'McDonough and John Blades. Vegas faces a 3rd down for the 2nd straight possession. They'll motion Doug Britton up to the top. 1-on-1 against 9th season veteran Terrell Davis. Only a couple out wide. Price's pass is caught by Doug Britton on a short cross, and that's enough for Vegas to move the sticks. Let's go to the SFL studios for the first time this evening. Cameron Irvine has a game break.
Thank you, Tim. Carolina in D.C., but it's Lauren Percoco exposing the Skyhawk defense. 10-0, that's her fourth touchdown this season, tied for the league lead. D.C. on top, middle of the second against the Skyhawks. Back to you in Sioux Falls.
Thanks so much, Cam. First two games of this Sunday slate underway. We've got two more coming your way tonight, and of course the Monday Night Spectacular tomorrow evening right here on SFL YouTube. 11th all-time meeting between Vegas and Sioux Falls. It's been pretty even. Sioux Falls leads the all-time series 6-4, and they won the most recent time these two teams played back in season 18. Kimbrell got the give on first down. He will get it again and gets a gain of 4 on both of those two carries, and it's 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2 is exactly where run-first teams want to be, because a lot of running backs are not going to have an issue picking up 2 yards for their first down.
Kimbrell averages 5 yards per carry, which sounds like a great number, but believe it or not, that's 26th in the league. That's among all backs that have at least 1 carry, however. He will get the give here, and he's got the first down. Blows through a tackle and gets a little bit more. Finally wrapped up by Jason Strongbow. You said it, Marcus, more than capable of getting 2. He gets about 5 to move the sticks.
I think he even got a little tangled up by his own player, and that stopped him from moving forward a little bit, and he ended up getting tackled probably a little further back than he should have. But that happens sometimes. You can't worry about who's in your way.
You wouldn't want to be a defender in Kimbrell's way this season, as Price's pass over the middle is caught and finally wrestled down is John Blades, the 11th season target for this Vegas franchise. Former stud wide receiver, made the move to tight end last season with decent results, and one of Price's favorite targets here in season 21.
Yep, Blades last week got 40 yards, so he was involved a little bit. He wasn't the top receiving target last week, but he made his catches when it counted.
Price has really spread the ball around this season, Marcus. It's been impressive. Kind of in contrast to what Tyree has done. He's got 2 favorite receivers in Marion and Warren. Price has really spread the ball around nicely, and Blades one of his favorite targets. Here's a pitch out to the right. Kimbrell, stiff arms, and then gets thrown down by A.J. Levy, a Hall of Fame strong safety.
2nd and 8 is probably when you start looking at passing again. Your goal is to make it as close to the first down marker as you can. If you can't get past it, that way your running back can take it across for 2 yards again and get you a first down.
Well, Vegas has already converted a handful of 3rd downs on this drive, and they're in the red zone for the first time this evening. Time winding in the first quarter. Price will throw, and he has another completion. That's Mason Kirby making his first catch of the game. So we've already seen all 3 of Vegas's top 3 targets on this drive, Marcus. Blades, Britton, and Kirby all with grabs.
And Kirby was his main target last week, ended up getting 95 yards and a touchdown. The top stats for the receiving core for Las Vegas last week.
And on the season, 13 catches for 222 yards and a touchdown. Only target on this team with more than 200 yards. There are 4 targets on this team with between 100 and 200 receiving yards. Impressive balance. 1st and goal from the 3. This is where Sioux Falls scored a few minutes ago. Another strong toss for Kimbrell. Breaks out of 1 tackle and then is thrown down by Strongbow, who's the most veteran of this linebacking core. He's got 2 rookies alongside him, and he's already made a couple of tackles on Kimbrell on this drive.
This is where it gets difficult to run because all the linebackers and the defensive line are all stuck at the goal line, and there's a lot of people to get through to get 2 yards to the end zone.
Top 20 in the league in tackles is Strongbow, already with a few tonight. 2nd and goal. Kimbrell on a straight carry, leaps over the line and scores! Superman style for Hubba Kimbrell. His 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
I had that stat on standby, and you beat me to it. Congratulations.
It's not often people get to beat you to something. I apologize.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. 10 rushing touchdowns for a career. Congratulations to Hubba Kimbrell and Las Vegas as they go here to tie up the game with the extra point.
This is my first time getting to see Hubba Kimbrell in person, Marcus. I'm very curious to see how this game rolls on. I got to see Vegas a couple of times last season, including in the playoffs, as the PAT from Matt Rage is good. Again, Kimbrell was the number 2 behind Scott Johnson, who was here for about a handful of seasons. And it seemed as if they didn't necessarily know how to use both. It's not an indictment of the team. There was just an evaluation process. Not every team runs two-star tailbacks, and now Vegas does it with Johnson gone. It's now Kimbrel with the fullback, Brad Taylor Wright leading the way. And now Kimbrel is the main man. And for a guy who used to be a fullback in this league, used to be a tight end in this league, his numbers are staggering in a good way, especially when you saw realistically how little he did in this offense last season. We're only through 4 games, but his numbers this season are really remarkable.
Hubba Kimbrel's 27 yards in this game is actually enough to bring him over 900 career yards. He's sitting at 901 career rushing yards.
Not bad for a former tight end in this league who's starting to come into his own this season, it seems. Now, Sioux Falls is an interesting team this season. They're 1-3. All 3 of their losses have been by 15 or more points, including 2 by 20 or more. They were 6-6 last year, but they were in every single game. Jason Williams, not much there. Met once again by Max Jackson. Not a surprise. This guy's tackled just about everybody in league history at this point, at least every offensive player. Sioux Falls was in every game last year. Their largest loss was by 17 points in a season that they went 6-6. So it's just surprising to see how lopsided some of their results have been through the first third of season 21. Tie game here. Tyree on the boot to the left. Again has time. Again to the sideline, and Warren not able to haul it in. One hand up, 1 foot down, but not able to bring it in. And Sioux Falls is going to challenge. Oh, Gronk spike on the challenge from Jason McGee.
That was going to be my suggestion. I saw it was pretty close, and I thought maybe we'd see a challenge flag here, and we certainly did. I think it's a pretty good chance he might have had his foot in, but we'll have to check the replay to see for sure.
Well, that's what I saw initially. He had 1 hand on the ball and 1 foot down, which is all you need. See if we get a better look.
Oh, right on the line.
Yeah, toes on the line. What do you think?
It's probably going to stand. No, it's overturned.
That's insane. You heard what the referee said. Sioux Falls is going to win the challenge, Marcus. And look, in the previous era of the SFL, my hit percentage on referee calls was maybe 15%. And I'm 0 for 1 here in season 21. I thought that was out of bounds.
Yep, looks like they ruled that he had possession and dragged his foot across the grass just prior to hitting the line of going out of bounds.
Well, all right, it'll be the 3rd catch of the first quarter for Warren, who's now unofficially over 50 yards. His stellar season continues. Man in motion for Sioux Falls. That's Charlemagne Cornelius, the fullback, been known to go out and catch passes in his career. Tyree evades, now fires, swatted up, and then nearly caught by Warren on the redirect. It was Jackson that got a hand on it and nearly found his target anyway.
Sioux Falls is still making big plays. That was another big 3rd down play that was challenged and ruled complete. So Tyree is making some big throws when it counts.
Jackson, one of the very best in the business. This is his 12th total season in the league. He has been an all-star in 9 of his first 11, including in season 20. Already all over this first quarter. Tyree again rolls. Tyree again fires. Tyree again hits Warren in stride. And A.J. Warren carries Max Jackson for an extra couple of yards down to the 32.
It really looks like A.J. Warren is going to be the top target, at least so far in this game. Receiving yards of 82 already today and a longest reception of 28. We'll see if some of the other receivers can break open and earn some receptions as well.
He has really been a new man this season. He was a big piece of this offense earlier on in his career, and then for about 4 or 5 seasons, he was really an afterthought as Tyree and company targeted a lot other receivers more, but this season it's been Warren's show. They'll try to run it with Williams. Williams going the wrong way, but sheds a tackle and somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage and a yard pass before Wyo brings him down. He looked doomed from the start, Marcus, but somehow gets a gain of 1.
Williams was trying not to outrun his block, and unfortunately, the block wasn't able to be picked up, but he was able to get around just back to the line of scrimmage.
And Thrillium strikes. He has the touchdown for Sioux Falls. Vegas answer with one of its own from Hubba Kimbrel, and that's where we stand. 7-7, after one quarter in Sioux Falls. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Happy to have you with us alongside Hall of Famer Marcus Dunhill with Stephen Hacker and Joshua Durr and Cameron Irvine. I'm Tim Hackett. Thanks for joining us. Game 2 of 4 on this SFL Sunday nights. And an interesting matchup between two long-standing SFL franchises. Nearly got an early jump. Tyree's going to about face and hit another receiver. That's Warren again. Warren had 4 catches in the first quarter, and he's got the catch on the first play of the second quarter. This is crazy.
If your receiver's open, you throw where the ball, where the receiver is. You know, if he can pick up 5 yards with Warren, he's just going to chuck it to Warren, knowing Warren's going to make the catch.
Wise words from the Hall of Fame quarterback himself. Sioux Falls 1 of 2 on third down so far. Tyree again with time. Tyree again will fire, looking for Warren, and nearly made the catch on the deflection again. Jackson was in the area. Remember, Vegas still playing without safety Mike Jones, who was injured early on in that quarter, and Tyree again dodges a bullet.
That'll bring out Black for the field goal attempt.
This season, Sioux Falls' offensive starters have scored 5 touchdowns, 35 points, 30 points really, and Black has been their best offensive contributor. Deep field goal, and he knocks it through. Black is 12 of 12 to start the season, second in the league in both makes and attempts. He has now scored more points himself than the rest of the Sioux Falls starters on offense.
That was his 93rd career field goal, but the really interesting stat is that was his 100th field goal attempt.
He's been
coincidentally makes him 93 out of 100.
Which is easy math to do. Math even I can do in his career. And if you're being generous and counting PATs, like on the offensive tally, 5 offensive touchdowns by Sioux Falls starters. Before today, they now have a 6th, thanks to Jason Williams. But Black now has made 12 field goals, so 36 points that he's responsible for by himself. If you add in what Williams did just now, Sioux Falls has now scored 42 points on offense, and Black has 36 by himself, which is impressive for any kicker.
Be interesting to see here with Vegas getting the ball back again. Seeing if they're going to continue the running attack, which is what they've done so far.
Been very successful, though on a high volume. Kimbrell 10 carries for 27 yards, and Vegas's lone touchdown. Price will send a man in motion. That's Mason Kirby. Look at all the defenders in the box for the Sparrows. 4 down and a couple more showing blitz. They will send a 5th. Price over the middle. Kirby makes the catch and gets stuck right on the midfield stripe. We've seen that motion turn into a reception multiple times for Vegas so far.
It's working so far. They saw the amount of people rushing them. They knew they had a chance, but they had to get the ball out quickly to Kirby. Kirby found some space over the middle of the field.
Price let him a little bit high for my liking. What say you, the quarterback? A little bit of a high throw.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you get over the defenders. So it might have been a little bit too high, but you don't want anybody cutting in front of the football.
It ends up making it catchable for Kirby. Jay Ringgold puts a stop to it afterwards. Kimbrell with the step over, and Kimbrell with a gain of 5. Here is the defense for Sioux Falls and defensive coordinator A.J. Levy. On the line is Nick Fargo, James Kelly, Mike Wagner, and Johnny Van Man. Linebackers Jason Strongbow with rookies Marcus Benson and Stuart Gotts. And the secondary is about as experienced as you can get. John Barnhart, Nathan Barnett, Terrell Davis with Jay Ringgold and A.J. Levy. All of them have been in Sioux Falls for half a dozen seasons or more. Experience is key. Kimbrell cuts away. Kimbrell cuts back inside, accelerates to the 20 and hit from behind at the 15-yard line. What a run from Hubba Kimbrell. His breakout season continues here in Sioux Falls.
Before that play was even snapped, I saw the way that they are starting to run here with Las Vegas, is that they're close to breaking out one of these runs. You can tell that they've been close to just getting past these linebackers, and this was the one play they were able to do it.
this front seven, I should say, has not had a lot of success pressuring opposing quarterbacks this season, and most of their TFLs have come from their linebackers, and that was defensive end James Kelly, who ran all the way back to finally put a stop to Kimbrell on that run, and now he runs up the middle and gets hit by Jason Strongbow and a couple of others for a gain of 2. Those rookie outside backers, Marcus Benson and Stuart Gotts, have combined for 13 TFLs this season, which is almost every one that Sioux Falls has as a team. Kind of impressive for a pair of rookies. Offset eye, Price calling an audible, and he'll send blades in motion now to the bottom of your screen. Fake it to Kimbrell. Price rolls, fires for the end zone, reaching up and making the catch is Doug Britton with one hand. What a dot and what a snag. Vegas has the lead for the first time.
Great catch by Britton in the end zone. I want to take a better look at that to see what the coverage was on him, because it looks like he was right with them and then just right in between the two defenders.
How about that haul in from Britton, who used to be kind of an afterthought in this offense, Marcus, but they elevated him to #1 wide receiver last season, and he's back for another season as one of the go-to guys, and that was just a brilliant catch.
30th career touchdown for Doug Britton.
Second this season for the 7th season veteran wide receiver Doug Britton. PAT is good from Rage, and back and forth we go. After Sioux Falls had to settle for that field goal, Britton's touchdown puts Vegas up for the first time, 14-10, midway through the second quarter. Sioux Falls leads the all-time franchise series 6-4. And they won 4 of the first 5 meetings between these two teams. Matchup that started all the way back in season 11. They met twice in season 11 and then 3 times in season 12. Played in the playoffs in both of those seasons. Sioux Falls won both of those matchups. And then Vegas kind of turned the all-time history for a couple of seasons. Sioux Falls won the last time these two teams played, which was all the way back in season 18. And an interesting note about that game, that was the first time that a road team has won in the all-time matchup. Home teams were 9-0 in the all-time series before that game in season 18, which Sioux Falls won 29-17. The first time a road team has won, the road team up by 4 midway through the second quarter here in matchup number 11. Interesting. A little bit of role reversal. Strong toss to Williams. Williams sheds a tackle and gets to the outside, and Williams has the first down and a gain of 12. Once again, looked dead to rights, Marcus, but somehow makes it happen.
That's what those running backs do. They find some space, push stiff-arm people, and try to find more space. That was a good run. That 12-yard run was the longest run of Williams today, so I would expect them to continue to give him the ball more and more, and I think he'll be all right running the football.
Interestingly enough, before today, Williams had the same number of carries as Tyree had completions, 79. Small sample size through 4 games, but I just find it interesting that's the exact same number. And Cornelius with 5 carries on top of that. Kind of a lighter load than he's used to in this offense. Tyree back to pass. Zips it. Another catch. And guess who? A.J. Warren has his 6th reception of the first half, and he's close to 100 yards.
This play was brought to you by the offensive line blocking, just giving him enough time to throw that football. Because if that line had collapsed, there was nowhere for Tyree to put that ball.
He's had amazing protection consistently this whole game. Officially over 100 receiving yards. Thanks to our live statisticians for that one, correcting me on that. You know, Stephen Hacker would never do that to me. Tyree again rolls to the right, finds traffic in his face and throws it right into a leaping Anthony Stover. 6'6", 315. He got all the way up and volleyball blocked it right back in Tyree's face. Stover had no recorded stats on the season as a defensive end except for a pass deflection. Now he's got 2 of those on the season. Not bad. Tyree looking to throw again. Goes this way and overshoots his target again. That time he was going towards Marion, I believe. But either way, calibration not quite right here in this South Dakota Sunday.
Dangerous throw. There was 2 receivers directly there. I think Marion would have get hit very hard even if they caught the football.
No doubt. 4 wides here. Go ahead, sorry.
I just going to say, squished straight between 2 defenders.
No doubt. Tyree was lucky that his receiver didn't get squished on him. He evades, fires over the middle, and the pass is caught this time. His receiver did get smushed. That's Joseph Beaudet, sophomore wide receiver. But a great throw from Tyree and another 3rd down conversion for the Sparrows.
Yep, Sparrows are picking up the first downs when it matters and getting them closer and closer. About where they were when they kicked the field goal on the last drive.
Beaudet spent his rookie season with Jacksonville. Now in his first season with Sioux Falls, makes just his 3rd catch of the season. Good for a gain of 19, and the first receiver not named Warren to make a catch from Tyree today. From the 24. Tyree nearly gives it up right into the waiting arms of Maurice Lloyd. Linebacker already has an interception this season. That could have been number 2.
And with 4 interceptions last week, you want to be very careful with the football if you're Sioux Falls because you don't want to play from behind with interceptions. And there's a couple passes today that could have been intercepted. But lucky for them, there are no interceptions on the day yet for Las Vegas.
Very lucky for them. Sioux Falls leads the league in giveaways with 17 turnovers, all interceptions from Tyree in 4 games. Running for his life here, now throws across his body and goes towards the end zone and nearly converted that one to Marion after all of that. Tyree, I have no idea how he was even able to get that ball off, Marcus, and the fact that he very nearly converted it is even more impressive, but it is just an incompletion.
Yeah, 1 second longer, Tyree would have been sacked, but that was a pretty good effort to try to make something out of nothing.
Only 3 passing touchdowns for Tyree this season against 17 interceptions, which is a ridiculous ratio for one of the league's all-time greats. On 3rd down, he will throw again towards the end zone again and knocked away again. Going for Beaudet, who made that 3rd down catch earlier, not this time. Great coverage, and that brings up 4th down.
Looks like we'll be looking at another field goal.
So far, so good for Zashtel Black this season. As we've already mentioned, 2nd in the league in both attempts and makes. Already made 1 this evening. This from 41. Bit of a wonky snap, but Black's kick is good. Lucky number 13 on the season for Black. And that gives Sioux Falls 13 points on the night.
94 field goals creeping closer and closer towards the 100th career field goal.
What are the chances we see that here this evening?
You know what? I like it, you know. Let's see another 6 field goals.
By 1 player. That would be, we'll check with Cameron Irvine, but I'm pretty sure he and I were right on the SFL record a couple of seasons ago for field goals in a game, but 8 by 1 player, that would be not what he was expecting, I don't believe. Black's kick and returned out to the 30-yard line. For all league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Well, big opportunity in the present for these 2 long-standing franchises. Vegas at 2-2, alternating wins-loss this season, trying to right the ship and get another victory. Sioux Falls just 1-3 after losing last time out 34-19 at Minnesota in week 4. Sparrows trying to recover after a bye last week. Price's pass high but hauled in by Mason Kirby. Again, throws it a little bit high, Marcus, but Kirby able to go up and get it, and that's a 1st down.
Yep, that's a sign of a great receiver, being able to get those balls that are a little too high. And possibly hoping that his receiver could go up and high point the ball over the heads of the defenders in such a way that the defenders would not be able to go up and get it. Otherwise, if it was thrown a little bit lower, I think Sioux Falls defense would have been contesting that football.
Good coverage by the Sioux Falls defense, but Price able to thread the needle. Kimbrell on the carry. And Hubba Kimbrell with a nice gain of about 5. Met initially by Stuart Gotts. We haven't seen a turnover yet for either team, Marcus, which is a little bit of a surprise because, as we mentioned, Sioux Falls leads the league in giveaways as an offense with 17. Their defense is third with 8 takeaways. Every member of the secondary has at least 1 interception, but the team is still with a -9 turnover differential because of all those giveaways, which is the second worst differential in the league, despite being third in takeaways as a defense. It's just a testament to how dismal the offense has been in that department at times this season as Kimbrell gets a gain of 4. Needless to say, you don't come to this for this level of analysis in SFL games these days, but that's got to be something that Sioux Falls needs to clean up if they have any chance of rallying and making the playoffs here in Season 21. More on that in a second. 3rd and 1, here's Kimbrell. Wide open lanes for Kimbrell, and across the 40-yard line with a first down. He made that possession happen.
And I think it's why it's a 1-point game, and I'm not calling out either team specifically, but neither team has a turnover, and that allows this game to stay really competitive and really close. If one of the teams had turnovers, or one or more than one, you'd probably see a higher difference in the score.
Agreed. So far, neither defense able to take it away. Neither defense able to get stopped consistently. Been a good game so far, about what we expected. Kimbrell runs right into this right tackle, and Sioux Falls says thank you very much. Jason Strongbow leading the pack once again and makes yet another tackle.
Yeah, unfortunate for Kimbrell to not be able to get around the offensive lineman. And great job on Sioux Falls to make a play.
3rd in the league in carries, 3rd in rushing yards, and 3rd in touchdowns for Kimbrell through 5 weeks. Price will throw. High throw in, snagged by John Blades, reaching up and snaring it with his right palm. Another great catch by a member of the Fury team.
You love to see those one-handed catches, especially as a quarterback, because when a receiver catches a one-handed ball, it's usually not the best thrown football. Otherwise, they probably would have got it with 2. So it makes us feel better when those receivers come in clutch and make a big play and make us look really good, even though we potentially could have made a mistake on a throw.
It really bails you out, doesn't it? Second big catch for Blades, 30 total yards. Kimbrell, a lot of room up the gut, and then suddenly that room dissipates, a gain of 7. Let's go back to what you were saying, because that was the touchdown that Britton hauled in, was a reach-up one-hand catch, and that catch for a first down, courtesy of Blades' reach-up one-hand catch. Quarterback's best friend, a bailout catch like that. Clock ticking in the second quarter. Offset eye. Here's the give to Kimbrell. Tries to run up the middle again and gets stoned at the very end of that run. Looked like he was going to have enough for the first down, but the window shut hard, and it's 3rd down and short.
He's got a 4.8 yards per carry in this game. So 3rd and 1 is exactly where Vegas wants him to be.
We have seen them run it on 3rd and short a couple of times already tonight, and Kimbrell has delivered. They don't have to snap it before the 2-minute warning if they don't want to. They will at 2:01. Kimbrell has the first down once again and gets all the way to the 11-yard line. He has been strong in all facets so far this evening.
There's a little bit of congestion in the backfield, so good on Kimbrell to be able to keep those legs moving and get past the first down marker.
And 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Vegas leads Sioux Falls by 1. This is the SFL presented by APM Music live on YouTube. You look at the numbers tonight for Hubba Kimbrell, 5 shy of 100. He continues his breakout campaign as the feature back for the Fury. From the 11, they will give it to Kimbrell, stretching outside, throws the shoulder, and that will put him over 100 yards on the Knights and gets Vegas inside the 5.
Kimbrell was able to stiff arm one person straight to the ground, but the second tackler was able to get him. But like you said, up to 100 yards as they're very, very close to the end zone on the 5-yard line.
I guess exactly 100 yards. Either way, brilliant day already for Kimbrell. We're not anywhere close to done. From the I formation, Kimbrell again with the fullback leading. Kimbrell can't get outside. Great pursuit and a great tackle at the end of it by Terrell Davis.
Back to 3rd and 1. Which is actually really interesting that they can pick up a first down on the goal line.
Exactly. And they will spread it out. Kimbrell picked up a 3rd and 1 himself earlier. They will run it. Disguised run for Kimbrell, and he won't get there. runs into the thick of the defense. Stuart Gotts makes the tackle as Kimbrell tried to lunge forward and get that extra half yard. Timeout called by Sioux Falls, and a decision now for Vegas.
Yeah, super interesting. I thought maybe he would have made it to the first down marker. He didn't. And this is kind of where you decide whether it's worth getting that yard and first down, or if you go for the field goal.
They will elect to go for the field goal, and it's no problem. Chip shot for Matt Rage, who is now 7 of his first 8 on the season. Let's talk about that decision, Marcus, because first of all, I have not seen that formation in limited action here in the SFL in Season 21. It was a disguised run with Kimbrell lining up behind the tackle, and he still comes around on a mini jet sweep to try to get the first down. They could not get it, and then they elect to go for the field goal. So a lot to ask you to break down, as this kick is going to be returned out of the end zone. Don't see this very often by Sioux Falls, and only out to the 22-yard line, so a risky move, but a lot to break down. First of all, what did you think of the decision to go for the field goal rather than maybe on 4th and 1?
You know, I think with such an elaborate third down play, and it didn't work, they were worried about their 4th down play not working and not wanting to turn the ball over. And like this game that had no turnovers, I think both teams just say, look, points are going to be a premium. Let's get ahead by 4 points to force them to have to score a touchdown.
Sioux Falls will have 1 minute to try to go to the length of the field, and right on cue, they link up with A.J. Warren again. His 7th catch of the first half. He's already over the century mark. He has been brilliant this season. Correction for something I said earlier. It was Vegas who called that timeout inside the 5-yard line. So that right there was Sioux Falls' first timeout of the half. Important distinction. First timeout by the Sparrows after another long gain to Warren. A gain of 20. Man in motion. That is Ben Harrison. Tight end will flex out wide. And now 5 in the pattern for Tyree. Vegas sends 5 as well. Tyree's pass wide open. Kay Marion makes her first catch of the game. Another quick timeout, and this Sioux Falls pass attack looks as good as you would expect.
Yeah, Marion was wide open on the side of the field. It looked like the safeties for Vegas thought they were going to go a little further down the field than they ended up going, and Marion was able to make a big catch for a first down.
10th completion of the first half for Tyree. That's it. 7 of them have gone to A.J. Warren. Where does he go here? Everybody runs short, and he hits Marion on a 5-yard curl, Marcus. Interesting strategy, and Sioux Falls will have to use its final timeouts.
Yep, probably not your best decision. This is kind of that part of the field with the amount of time left where it's like 5 yards sometimes isn't worth it. Sometimes it's better to throw it away so you don't have to burn a timeout or let the clock continue to run.
No doubt about it. So it'll be a free 5 yards for Kay Marion. Everybody was running short patterns on that play call. Thought that was interesting. They do get 5. They do stop the clock. Tyree on an out. Marion makes the catch this time and accelerates towards the sideline and gets there. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. We haven't even talked about Kay Marion's brilliant season yet, Marcus, because it's been the A.J. Warren show so far, but Marion has been more than a good supporting act for Warren this season. She's been excellent in her own right, and that's her 3rd catch of this drive.
And I like that decision. Some people would say she'd be able to get 5 more yards if she had not ran out. She sure could have, but if she got tackled in bounds, they would either have to burn another timeout or lose a lot of time on the clock. So that was a great decision to conserve some time.
Great point. Sioux Falls now out of timeouts as well, so she had to just do whatever she could. From the 22, Tyree hits Warren inside the 10-yard line, and Sioux Falls will run hurry up.
This is where that time's going to matter.
How quickly they got back to the line, and Tyree will throw it down with the spike. Look, at the risk of overstepping here, Marcus, that was about as fast as I've seen an SFL team get back to the huddle for a spike ever.
So now the question is where they are in the field. They need to start taking shots at the end zone. They can't have the ball in the field of play because they don't want to lose more time. They'd rather have incompletes. So do you start looking at Kay Marion again, or do you start looking at A.J. Warren, who got the majority of the catches?
You saw that graphic earlier. Tyree has only completed 1 pass to the right side, and it was that 4-yard curl a few moments ago. They will flex Marion out there. 2 defenders on her side of the field. Tyree looking her way, and Kay Marion makes the catch right on cue. Tyree targets the right side for the 2nd time, and Marion, with her 4th catch of the drive, puts Sioux Falls back in front.
I had a feeling that was going to the end zone. I figured it was either going to K. Marion or it was going to go to A.J. Warren. I figured it was going to one of them.
Your feeling came true. Marion with another catch, another touchdown. Her second of the season. Sioux Falls goes back in front. How about that throw? And how about that separation? High snap, but somehow knocked through by Zashtel Black. Marion was double covered on that drive, Marcus. And Merrick Itera, the league great corner, was right there, and he tried to bite in on the throw, but as soon as he stepped in, he looked up, and the pass had already sailed over his head. Marion got past, and easy 7.
Yeah. The other issue is there was no defenders behind Marion, so she had the opportunity. They didn't have much to lose by targeting her in the back of the end zone. It was either going to be incomplete or caught.
Sure. And how about this? Vegas has allowed 18.5 points on average this season through 4 games. Sioux Falls already has 20 in the first half.
Yeah, this game is getting really interesting. It's a close game, and it's interesting because one is more of like an air attack and the other team is more of a ground attack. So it's interesting to see how close this game continues to be with such diverse game plan.
And with Vegas as that ground attack team, like you just mentioned, they have 2 timeouts, but only 18 seconds left. You wonder if they are as equipped to march down the field and do what we just saw Sioux Falls do. It's not really in their DNA, you don't think? They will motion Doug Britton out. He's got some space on the left sideline now. Price looking that way. Now he'll go over the middle and just slides it into John Blades for a gain of 12. They will let the clock run, though, Marcus, and that's going to take us to halftime.
So the interesting thing is, you look at the scoreboard right now, and Las Vegas is losing by 3. If they had not taken that field goal and they had turned the ball over, they potentially could be down 6 right now. So that choice to continue to do a field goal is keeping them closer and closer into this game as we come 3 seconds away from halftime.
Well, I got a little overexcited. Vegas was in no hurry to get back to the line. They could have stopped the clock at 11 seconds. Instead, they're going to call a timeout with 3 seconds and now bring everybody back onto the field. Curious move from their own 47-yard line. 4 wides for Eric Price, who drops an extra 10 yards back. He'll heave it the length of the field and swatted away by A.J. Levy. Had a couple of receivers streaking. Jacob Morrison, the rookie, was in the area, but Price nearly had it right. Instead, that will be the end of an exciting first half. Sioux Falls with a 20-17 lead and a make-or-break game, you think, for both of these teams. An exciting first half here, Marcus.
A surprisingly balanced game, actually, from Las Vegas. They have 95 rushing yards and 104 for Kimbrough. So the rushing to passing is actually a lot closer for Vegas than expected.
Total yards slightly in favor of Sioux Falls, 250 to 200, so pretty even. Sioux Falls slightly ahead. I think that reflects that, 20-17. Sparrows 2 of 5 on third down. Vegas 4 of 6 on third down. And I mean, look, A.J. Warren, no surprise. What a brilliant half. A lot of receivers will take that in a game. 8 for 137, you kidding me? He was fantastic for Tyree.
Well, Las Vegas has a much more balanced game plan today. There's a very big difference between Sioux Falls' passing and running game, where they have over 200 yards passing and just 31 on the ground.
137 of Tyree's 204 going to A.J. Warren, but he did get K. Marion in the mix on that last scoring drive, punctuated by her second touchdown of the season. And that's really been how Sioux Falls has operated this season. It's been Warren and Marion leading the show, and then everybody else kind of playing third fiddle, if you will. Vegas will get the ball to start off the second half, and they will start off from the 37. Brilliant field position for the Fury. Liking the game so far? Sure hope you are. This has been a brilliant one. Then smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events per year, and there is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action, and help the channel grow through your supports. Back and forth first half, both teams had the lead, at least temporarily, and Vegas will start on offense to begin the third quarter. Eric Price in his second season as the signal caller for the Fury. Takes his time and will snap it with 7. Price's throw, high target and hauled in once again by Mason Kirby. Many of Kirby's catches this game have come easy, but he does make another one. That's his 4th grab.
That was an interesting spot to give him the first down.
I was thinking the same thing. No reviews coming. We've seen 1 or 2 strange calls already in this game, but Sioux Falls happy to run with that one. Strong toss to Hubba Kimbrell, who had a strong first half. Kimbrell gets a gain of about 3. Our crew here at Liberty Park, Tim Hackett and Marcus Dunhill in the booth, Stephen Hacker and Joshua Durr in the truck, Cameron Irvine back in the studio. You can also catch Carolina and DC live right now on the SFL's YouTube page. 2 more games coming your way tonight, and the Monday Night Spectacular on tap tomorrow. From right on the midfield line, Price accelerates the handoff to Kimbrell, and Kimbrell met right past the line by James Kelly, who's tackled Kimbrell a couple of times already.
Las Vegas is 4 for 6 on 3rd down, so more times than not, they've gotten the 3rd down conversions. But that's usually when they're like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. This 3rd and 6 is a little further than you're usually comfortable running on 3rd down.
And to your point, they do typically run on 3rd down. At least they have today. And Kimbrell's converted it a couple of times. What will they do here on 3rd and 6? That's Kirby in motion. He's made all of his catches on the right side. Now he's on the left and crossing. Price looking for Kirby and out of his hands with great coverage. Jay Ringgold applied the pressure from behind. Barnett was there as well. A rare 3rd down failure tonight for Vegas, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Kirby was not able to make the catch. It looked like he couldn't get turned quite enough to catch that ball. Was too worried about the defenders around him.
We mentioned earlier, both of these teams with rostered punters. You don't necessarily see that very often. Not a good snap, but Dustin McRack is one of the best in the business here in the SFL. Gets it to bounce at the 8, and it will carry on over into the end zone. So a rare touchback for McRack. Still a decent result for Vegas, though they did have to punt away to start their first possession of the second half. Such an interesting game. You know, these are 2 former division rivals. They are meeting for the 11th time, as we've already outlined. It feels as if this is an important game for both teams. If Sioux Falls loses, they'd go to 1-4. They were 6-6 last season. Vegas was 7-5 after starting the year 7-1, famously losing their last 4 and limping into the playoffs, trying to get off to a better start here this season. Tyree's pass high and hauled in by K. Marion. Brilliant catch by Marion over top of Merrick Itera. Her best catch of the night.
The playoffs are a long way away, but both of these teams are kind of figuring out what they need to do to position themselves in the second half of the season. Obviously, they want to be at least at 500 or greater going into the second half of the season, making it a little bit easier. Because like people said, 6-6 will not really get you a playoff spot anymore. You really need to be 7-5 or 8-4 really to guarantee a spot.
Which is amazing how far this league has progressed. I think that's awesome. There's Jason Williams. We haven't seen too much of him recently, Marcus, after he was busy earlier. He did score Sioux Falls' first touchdown through the air, but that's only his 8th carry of the game.
Yeah, but that's when these running backs will come and get you when you don't expect it. When you think all it's going to be is throw, then all of a sudden, Williams runs 40 yards on you.
She's more than capable of doing. 8 carries against 27 attempts for Tyree. Strong toss to Williams. Not much doing there. Let's introduce you to the Vegas defense. Haven't done that yet. On the line is Frank Stackhouse, Anthony Stover, A.K. Jones. Linebackers Maurice Lloyd, Luke Swift, John Osiris, and Logan Thronberg. And the secondary, Justin Reside, Andre Tucker, Anthony Wyo, Merrick Itera, Mike Jones, and Max Jackson. Remember, Jones was injured early on in the game, the Vegas free safety. Tyree looking to throw. Again has time. Again lofts it left seam, and that time nobody home.
The coverage was just fantastic. He was trying to buy as much time as he could to see if he could make a play and make an open receiver. And it just was not there for him. So he had to try to make a throw, but not enough to convert. Makes them 2 for 6 on third down conversions for Sioux Falls.
I'm surprised to see some of these stats for Vegas as a secondary. And again, the last few years, they have been very leaky. They've given up a ton of points and a ton of pass yards. One of the worst teams in the league in that department the last couple of seasons. But this season, so far, so good. It's been a whole lot better. As we mentioned, 18.5 points per game on average through 4 games, though they did give up 35 their last game against Portland. League average is 29.5, so they're 10 points better than the league average. But even that, all of that is with their defense only combining for 2 takeaways and a -2 turnover differential, both of which are bottom 10 in the league. So defense getting it done in different ways, but have given up 20 already here to Sioux Falls. They do stand in, force the punts, and Kimbrell's first carry of this possession is good for a gain of 2. Another tackle for middle linebacker Jason Strongbow, who's in double figures in that department.
I think this is kind of the part of the game where teams starting to get nervous. Neither team has had a turnover so far, and neither team wants to be the first team to give the ball away.
No doubt, and get the sense that would make for a key turning point in this game as Kimbrell throws the shoulder into Strongbow and is able to get an extra yard or 2 before he's brought down by Jay Ringgold. And I mean, every time I see Sioux Falls, Marcus, I have the same conclusion that the experience in this secondary is just startling to me. You don't see that for a lot of teams. I feel like you did for Florida back in their heyday, and they still have a lot of their standouts back there, but just the consistency on this team is impressive, but wasn't enough to stop Kimbrell there. He picks up another 3rd down on the ground himself.
5 for 8 on 3rd downs. I was going to say that 3rd and 2 is exactly where Las Vegas likes to be on 3rd down conversions, and that is why. Because you give the ball to Kimbrell, and most likely you have a 1st down.
Averaging better than 4 yards per carry tonight. Averaged almost exactly 5 yards per carry before tonight, which actually was one of the lowest totals in the league. Kind of surprising. They will run it on 1st and 10. Kimbrell, not much there. He gets about 4, so just as we said, that's about what he's done all day. It's Ringgold on the stop. And again, the secondary, the least experienced is Nathan Barnett, who is in his 7th season, all with Sioux Falls. Everybody is a Sioux Falls lifer. You've got Davis in his 9th season, Barnhart at 10, Ringgold at 11, and of course A.J. Levy, the Hall of Famer, in his 16th season with the team. All of them alongside quarterback Julian Tyree. Kimbrell pushed down from behind by Marcus Benson, who's on his 1st season with Sioux Falls.
7 seasons with the team. He's practically a rookie back there.
There's a look of the day for Marcus Benson. Neither team has a sack, just as neither team has a turnover, as Marcus mentioned a moment ago. 3rd down and a long 1. Weird spots. Britton in motion. Is this Kimbrell territory again for the Fury? It will be. Kimbrell running outside and just able to get forward for the 1st down. Pushing through Stuart Gotts, the other rookie linebacker. 6th straight carry, Stephen Hacker tells us, on this possession. And good enough for another 3rd down conversion for Kimbrell.
2nd 3rd down conversion from him on this drive. And that conversion started looking shaky from the start, but he was able to power through.
He did just enough. Price will throw for the first time in a while, and he hits Mason Kirby once again. I've heard Cameron Irvine and others say this, Marcus, and I agree. Kirby is one of the most clutch receivers in the league. He sometimes has gaudy stats. His numbers this year are very good. Last season they were tremendous. But just about every catch he's had in this game has gone for a 1st down. That's the definition of a clutch receiver.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when you see Mike St. Green out for Houston. He's always making big 10-yard catches. He's not making huge, splashy 50-yard plays. But every time he gets his hands on the football, it's a 1st down for Houston.
Which is exactly what you want sometimes, and surely what you're looking for as a quarterback. You got somebody that reliable. Strong toss to Kimbrell, breaks out of a hit in the backfield, and then is pushed down right before the line of scrimmage. That may be a TFL for Marcus Benson. If it is, I think it's the 1st tonight for either team. And either way, they'll spot him at the line of scrimmage, so maybe so much for that. But either way, a rare stop for this Sioux Falls defense. Vegas has employed this motion quite a bit. That's the fullback, Brad Taylor Wright, number 44, off tackle at the bottom of your screen. He will go out in the pattern, and instead Price looks for Doug Britton, and Britton will make the catch for a gain of 8.
What do you know? For the 3rd time in this drive, we're at 3rd and short.
Well, dare I ask you for a prediction?
Oh gosh, they're probably going to pass.
Try to reverse the script, right? And Kimbrell has gotten both of those first two. And once again, it's a 3rd and long one. Sioux Falls shows blitz. They will run it. Kimbrell goes left tackle, and Sioux Falls is ready for that one. That will be the first TFL of the day. Marcus Benson all over Kimbrell, and it's 4th down.
That was fantastic because that block, if that block held up, Kimbrell was going past for the first down.
I was going to ask if you dare think about going for it, but they will elect to bring out McRack with a punt with the line of scrimmage on the 30. McRack is one of the best in the biz, but this is a weird one. It will take a side spin out at the 16, so a net of 14 yards for McRack. That is a give up on a drive if I've ever seen one.
That looked like an extraordinarily high punt. I was waiting for that thing to come back down, and it just didn't.
Oh, trying to see if he could punt it into any sparrows that are circling over the field here at Liberty Park, but either way, they punt from the 30-yard line instead of trying to go with Matt Rage as the kicker. Jason Williams with the run on the first play of the next possession gets 4. It obviously would have been a 47-yard kick for Rage. I don't know what his range is like, Marcus. He made from 43 last week. That's the longest he's made this season. It feels like a weird time to give up on a drive.
I think they're just trying to play the field position game with 2 minutes left, force Sioux Falls to punt, get a touchdown, and win the game with not enough time left for them to do anything about it.
Williams trying to sprint that narrative out of the water, gets the first down and an extra yard. Punters have only a few stats that are tracked, Marcus, and touchbacks and punts inside the 20 are really the only two besides net average. And that's going to be a free punt inside the 20 for Dustin McRack as he tries to make another All-Star game. He's been an ever-present there. This is his 9th season. He has made the All-Star game in 6 of his first 8. And so, happy birthday. You get another punt inside the 20, and you only had to go 14 yards to do it. Williams on the give, blows through a defender. That's Maurice Lloyd for a gain of 4.
Correction earlier. It's only the 3rd quarter. I don't even know what I was talking about. But Stephen Hacker on the stats truck actually gave me a pretty interesting tidbit. That it looked like maybe there was some wind that they were punting into, and that's why the ball went the way it did, and probably why they didn't attempt the field goal.
Yeah, for sure. That would certainly compound both of those issues, so it's a good point. Williams with another gain of 4, hit once again, and we've seen a steady diet of Jason Williams, and it is a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter, but it has been a lot of Thrilliums so far here, and Thrilliums looks more like your power back than your all-star, do-it-all, flashy back that he's known for being. 13 carries for 56 yards and a receiving touchdown tonight for Williams. This is Hubba Kimbrell territory, and Sioux Falls will take a page out of the Vegas playbook and run it on 3rd and short, and Williams delivers.
When you're winning, you don't have to go very fast. Time is on your side. Take that time, slowly move down, and end a drive with points.
I feel as if Tyree has thrown the ball once or twice in this quarter. This is only their 2nd possession of the quarter. He had that one conversion to K. Marion, and other than that, not much to speak of. Williams up the gut once again, and another gain of 6 for Williams. Just a steady diet of Thrilliums here in the 3rd quarter.
6 straight on this drive.
So far, so good, right? I mean, to your point, time taken in the 3rd quarter. By no means is this game over. It's only a 3-point lead, but the Sioux Falls can dictate the tempo, and that's what they're doing.
Yep, why stop if it's working?
Sure. They don't have to snap it again. They will with 10. Toss it to Williams. And Sioux Falls has nowhere to go. Vegas has its first TFL courtesy of Anthony Wayo. He's played a lot of safety in his career, and with London not in action this season, he needed a home and had another standout to a standout Vegas secondary. Wayo with the stop, and that brings a stop to the 3rd quarter. No change in score. It's still Sioux Falls 20, Las Vegas 17. SFL presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Happy to have you with us. Alongside SFL Hall of Famer Marcus Dunhill, I'm Tim Hackett. Stephen Hacker, Cameron Irvine, Joshua Durr working hard for us behind the scenes. Thank you to all of you. And thank you to you for tuning in. As good of a game as we expected. Vegas was favored on the road. Sioux Falls just 1-3 as your home team. But it's the Sparrows with a 3-point lead as we head to the 4th quarter. Tyree again accelerates, throws back across his body, and has the completion to Joseph Bodette. his second double-digit receiving yard catch of the day. That moves the 6 for the Sparrows to start the 4th.
3rd and 5 is kind of decision-making territory. You know, it's a little bit too far probably to expect Jason Williams to be able to pick that up. They decided that they had a higher probability of picking up that first down by going through the air.
Tyree has been stellar in this game. 3rd in the league in attempts and 3rd in passing yards before today, but only 3 touchdowns against 17 interceptions. Dismal ratio, don't need me to tell you that. And you just got to look at his numbers today. He's been tremendous. Strong toss again. Williams, and gets thrown down by Max Jackson after a gain of about 3.5. What has Tyree and what have Sioux Falls done as a team to kind of right the ship with all those turnovers that they gave up in the first 4 games?
I think just not throwing into excessive coverage when you don't need to, focusing more on the running game, and just making plays where you know your receivers are going to have a chance at the ball.
That was a low throw that time. He was going for the first time for Charlemagne Cornelius. I've been waiting for this mark because he has been an integral part of this Sparrow offense for a long time. This is his 6th season with the team. He's played with a number of different featured tailbacks over the last handful of seasons, but he's really been kind of an afterthought in the running game, only 5 carries, but he has made 12 catches through 4 games, and he's 3rd on the team in receiving yards with 127, talking about Cornelius. That's his first target. Tyree dances left, zips it towards the end zone, and way too tall for K. Marion. I don't know how Tyree got as much juice on that one as he did, but overcooked it, and it's 4th down.
Cornelius has more receiving yards than rushing yards. Almost has double, actually. About 346 rushing yards.
In his career?
In comparison to 615 reception yards.
It's just impressive how they've utilized him as another element of the passing attack. A lot of teams do use their fullbacks like that, but haven't seen that from Sioux Falls here today. And a bit more of a traditional target. K. Marion over the center of the pitch. Nothing doing. And so Andrew Warren, the rookie punter, will come on once again. And it's caught by a member of the Sparrow special teams unit. That's Nathan Barnett on the run. That was what they were trying to do to K. Marion with the catch in stride. Barnett makes the catch in stride. And Vegas will have to start this drive from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it's interesting when you get this close because you can't have any negative plays, and you definitely do not want to be punting out of your own end zone.
You figure this is Hubba Kimbrell territory because of how effective he's been in short yardage situations tonight. Close to 130 rushing yards for Kimbrell in his first season as the Fury feature back. They will give it to him, and Kimbrell will give this team a lot more breathing room as he gets out to 10. Let's go to the studio. Cameron Irvine with a game break.
Thank you, Tim. Kind of a snoozer in D.C. The game's already over. John DeSantis with a pickoff of Matt South, the 2nd turnover of the day for Carolina. They just never really got going. 27-6. D.C. dominates. Back to you in Sioux Falls.
Thanks a lot, Kamish. Bit of a surprising scoreline there, and maybe a surprising scoreline here to some. Hubba Kimbrell trying to right the ship and get his team back in front, and he gets a gain of a couple. You're watching Sioux Falls against Las Vegas, and A.J. Levy is down injured for Sioux Falls on this play. Hold the phone, Marcus. This is a massive development.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough for Sioux Falls defense. Now they have to worry a little bit more in that safety department. You might see Las Vegas breaking out some passing attack in this drive.
Remember, Vegas lost their starting safety, Mike Jones, in the first quarter due to an injury, and with 8 and change left here in the 4th, everything strong safety A.J. Levy injured. You don't see him at the bottom of your screen, at least for now. 3rd down and 1. Vegas has lived in these situations all day. Tight end John Blades in motion. They will give it to Hubba Kimbrell. Hubba Kimbrell shakes outside and has another first down. The Fury have been lethal on these possessions. This is the team from Las Vegas. You'd think they'd be used to rolling the dice, but they've been happy to play it safe, Marcus, and almost every time it's worked.
And that's why they're only behind by 3 points. You know, if you roll the dice too much and you don't make it, then you could see yourself being behind by a lot more than 3.
Price is going to air it out, hits a defender on its way through, and falls behind Mason Kirby. And Strongbow that was in the vicinity for Sioux Falls, and it hit somebody that Price was not intending to, and right on cue. That's a bit of a dice roll.
That could have landed in anybody's hands. As soon as a ball hits somebody or is tipped by somebody, it's fair game for whoever is going to catch that coming down.
3 total defenders have been injured across these two teams here tonight. Not sure if any of them have come back yet. Under 8 to go in regulation. Number 8, Price. Throw behind him to Hubba Kimbrell, and Kimbrell gets out to the 25 and no further. This has been an exciting game. Neither team is led by more than a possession, and this has been kind of par for the course for this all-time series. Most of them have been close. Almost all of them have been low scoring. No team has even cracked 30 points since season 12 in the all-time matchup, and doesn't look like we're going to hit that mark either here tonight in season 21. Price, sidearm sling, nearly picked off. It sails through the hands of Nathan Barnett, and maybe should have been picked off. And another injured player, that's tackle Mike Wagner.
The injuries are starting to stack up by Sioux Falls, but dang, that was so close. If that would have been an intercepted ball, that probably would have been to the end zone. I don't know if there was anyone that was going to tackle him.
No doubt about it. Again, every member of this Sioux Falls starting secondary has a takeaway this season, and all of these guys have many takeaways in their career. That would have been a game changer for sure. Instead, it will be a punt for Mick Rack, who punted from the opposing 30 last time and will punt out towards the opposing 30 this time. That is more like it for one of the best punters in league history.
It is time for Las Vegas Fury. If they want to stay in this game with 7 minutes left, their defense is going to have to start clamping down. They can't afford to let Sioux Falls get any more points so that the offense has a chance to come back and win the game.
Well, neither team has scored at all in this second half. Every drive has resulted in a punt after halftime. It's been a bit of a slog after an exciting first half. The defense is really starting to settle in for both sides. K. Marion, who had the touchdown to put Sioux Falls in front late in the second quarter on the bottom of your screen. And we'll give it to Jason Williams. And Williams has a gain of about 3. Williams had the first touchdown of the day for Sioux Falls, a passing touchdown for Julian Tyree. Just the 3rd total touchdown for Williams this season. Vegas then took the lead. Sioux Falls went back up. Vegas went back in front. And that touchdown from Tyree to K. Marion put the Sparrows back ahead. From the 40. Tyree again dodges, again fires, and swatted away by Merrick Itera. Itera's been all over the place here in the second half.
Great defense by Itera and Las Vegas, swatting away the ball, not letting them come up with a reception. Facing a 3rd and 7 now, trying to get off the field and give the ball back to the offense of Las Vegas.
You pointed out at halftime, Marcus, both of these teams were fairly balanced. It's been anything but that here in the second half, and in fact, it has been almost exactly an inverse of script for both teams. Tyree's going to dance away again. He'll throw down the sideline and hits as he was trying to make the catch his tight end Ben Harrison. The pass sails away up the right sideline. Rare spot for Harrison to reside, but Tyree's throw goes wayward and it's 4th down.
Just not able to come up with that ball. A good hit by the defender, not letting him catch that ball.
Great coverage at the end of the day. Saw a lot of the referees in the first quarter and none of them so far here since. Other punts coming up for Andrew Warren. Unofficially, I think that's 7 punts now across these two teams in the second half. Returnable here. And out to the 20-yard line and no further. Now available free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go. Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K 23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Fans of defense will want to try to emulate this game on that console going forward. 7 total punts, 0 combined points after halftime for these two teams. Vegas trying to win its 3rd, Sioux Falls trying to win its 2nd. An important midseason test for these two squads. Here's the fullback, Brad Taylor Wright, with his first touch of the game, Marcus. Good for a gain of 3, just his 7th carry of the season.
There was only 2 punts in the first half, so a lot of defensive football here in the second half.
Gotta love it. especially if you're a fan of that side of the ball. It's not necessarily pretty for quarterbacks like you, but the quarterbacks have played well in this game, despite having no points combined in the second half. Kimbrel on the strong toss. Tries to throw the stiff arm and somehow gets across the magic yellow line for a first down. We've seen both of these tailbacks nearly stopped in the backfield on multiple occasions, and just about every time they're somehow turn it into something.
Like you mentioned, the quarterbacks, Price has, looks like 126 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions from either team.
And the game script has been totally different for these two sides. Here's Kimbrel again, gets to the 35 and no further. Kimbrel has now carried the ball 39 times, throwing that one carry we just saw from Taylor Wright. 40 carries for Vegas against 16 pass attempts for Eric Price. It is almost the exact inverse for Sioux Falls. 33 pass attempts for Tyree against 18 carries for Williams. So Vegas 2 times run, Sioux Falls 2 times pass, and it's a 3-point game. Kimbrel gets maybe 2. So all of that is to say, Marcus, 2 completely different approaches to offense, and that has resulted in a very evenly played game.
Going over 126 rushing yards in this game, Kimbrel has gone over 1,000 yards rushing in his career. Now looking at seeing if he can get to 1,100 in this game.
No doubt. This is after he had just 68 rushing yards all season a year ago behind Scott Johnson. 5 minutes left in regulation. Vegas with the ball down by 3. Here's another third down. Price is going to check it down to Kimbrel. Kimbrel has running room, looks to the sideline, then thinks better of it, stays in bounds, and gets a few extra yards. We haven't seen them do that at all tonight, Marcus. They hit Hubba Kimbrel out of the flat, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, when you got somebody that can run the ball as well as he can, you get the ball to him and let him go. You just got to worry about the clock as you continue to wind the clock down, as you continue to pass the ball and or run the ball.
Kimbrel made 12 catches over his team's first 4 games. That's his first catch tonight. You just saw the numbers for Eric Price. Hasn't been amazing, but he's been very, very solid. And Kimbrel loses the ball on the hit. It's on the deck, and Sioux Falls has it. A brilliant day for Hubba Kimbrel, marred by a potentially game-breaking giveaway.
That's what's tough. You know, the hardest thing about being running back is sometimes you get hit and you need to make sure that ball does not move. And like you said, with no turnovers, both teams playing such clean football with only 4 minutes left and Sioux Falls being up 3, that puts Las Vegas at a severe disadvantage in this game.
Fumble forced by Marcus Benson, who has been asked to do a lot of work against Hubba Kimbrel. Some good, some bad for the rookie outside backer. And this time he exacts his revenge. Sioux Falls takes over from across midfield. Here's Williams' strong run the other way, and they will give him a gain of 1, maybe. Stopped eventually by Max Jackson, who has had a busy day once again. Again, Sioux Falls, historically, Marcus, is one of the best takeaway franchises in the league. They have such an elite secondary, as we mentioned, but this season, that is now their 9th takeaway as a defense, which is 3rd in the league, but still as a unit, -8 in terms of turnover differential because of all the giveaways that Tyree has had on the other side. 0 so far tonight. He will zip it to A.J. Warren, who had a massive first half. That is just his 2nd catch of the second half, and it will put the Sparrows inside the 25.
I think Vegas is counting on stopping them. With all the punts that have been going on back and forth in the second half, I think Vegas is hoping they can get the ball back before Sioux Falls gets any further into field goal range.
Well, it's been kind of exactly what you would expect for this Sioux Falls offense after a while. This season through 4 games, 78% of Tyree's yards have gone to either Warren or Marion, and that is exactly what we have seen tonight. Those 2 receivers have combined for 200 receiving yards. Williams. Lot of running room for Williams up the left sideline, lowers the shoulder and goes out himself at the 15. A run of 14 yards for Jason Williams. The Sparrows are inside the red zone.
You know, I had no doubt eventually Williams would have a major play on the ground. Fantastic run. Longest run of the day for him.
No doubt. Tyree, 265 passing yards, and all but about 40 of those have gone to Warren or Marion. Exactly what we would expect. His 2 favorite targets getting involved. And heavily. from the 14-yard line. The Sparrows looking to pull away. Tyree's pass is caught right on cue. That's Charlemagne Cornelius, just the third player not named Marion or Warren to make a catch, and the fullback has a gain of 7.
It's hard not to throw that ball when you're wide open. You see an open receiver. It doesn't matter if it's a fullback, an offensive lineman, a pizza delivery guy. You throw that ball.
And Cornelius was third on the team in receiving yards, trailing only Warren and Marion before today. Williams gets the give, and Williams gets a gain of about 1. So nearly more than 3/4 of Tyree's yards and nearly 2/3 of his completions this season have gone to either Warren or Marion. And that has been the case once again tonight. They are both top 10 in the league in catches, both top 6 in the league in receiving yards. They both have a receiving touchdown this season, and they have both been great tonight. Does Tyree go either of their way on 3rd and 2, a time ticking? 3 in the backfield. Strong toss to Williams. Williams gets hit near the line, and he will be given the first down. Nothing that John Osiris could do to prevent that forward momentum, and a clutch gain for Williams to move the sticks.
Absolutely fantastic. I thought for sure he was going to go down early, but he kept those legs moving and got the first down because they didn't need to get into the end zone on that play. And in fact, they can probably just let this go down to the 2-minute warning. All they needed to do was get a new set of downs before the 2-minute warning.
Probably should let it roll, and they will. We've seen a lot of teams snap it before that clock stops. Sioux Falls maybe with a wise play. 2 minutes left in regulation. Sioux Falls' lead is just 3. You're watching the SFL live on YouTube. Well, this has been a great game. Very well contested. 11th all-time meeting between these two franchises. Sioux Falls leads the all-time series 6-4. They lead this game by 3 with 2 minutes left in regulation. 1st and goal from the 3. Williams with Cornelius behind Julian Tyree. Williams gets the toss, and Williams breaks out of the tackle, still churning forward and pushed down at the line of scrimmage. He nearly got hit 3 yards behind the line, but finally brought down at the line of scrimmage somehow.
I was ready to say that is the play that Las Vegas needs, a hit behind the line, but then Williams was able to use his power and make it back to the line of scrimmage. Vegas cannot afford to go down a touchdown, 10 points down with 2 minutes left. They need to make a stand here and force a field goal.
Sparrows did use a timeout. Under 2 minutes to go. 2nd and goal. Vegas packs the house defensively. Same formation for Sioux Falls. They'll run it. Williams, nowhere to go. Great one-on-one tackle at the end of the play by Maurice Lloyd. 2nd season with Vegas. 7th season middle linebacker makes the stop. Another timeout for Sioux Falls. It'll be 3rd and goal.
This is probably going to be one of the most important plays of the game, whether or not they can convert this for a touchdown or if they have to kick a field goal.
Tyree has thrown the ball 35 times. He's got 2 passing touchdowns. Instead, they will run it. Williams sheds a tackle, and Jason Williams scores. 3rd time's the charm for Sioux Falls, and they do pad the lead, their largest lead of the night. 9 points with 1:45 to go.
You know, as a team, even if your running back is having trouble making it into the end zone, when you have those powerful runners, you do not hesitate to continue to give them the ball, because even if they don't make it once or twice, they have that power to just keep churning. You know, if they get contacted, they can pull people 2, 3, 4 yards into the end zone. So that is your best chance to score, and that's exactly what they did.
Sioux Falls was using Jason Williams a lot more like a power back in this half, Marcus. We saw a lot of runs up the middle. We saw a lot of strong power tosses like that are never really designed to go off tackle. It's not how I've seen Jason Williams used a lot necessarily in his career, but that is how the Sparrows have used him here in the second half, and it worked extremely well.
Well, how many times has he contacted in the backfield, and he still either got 3 yards or pulled people with him?
Well, every time on that sequence, every time on that 1st and goal to go, he got hit at or behind the line. And 3rd time was indeed the charm. Williams scores his 2nd touchdown of the day, his 4th total touchdown of the season. Sioux Falls had just 5 offensive touchdowns on the season from their starters before today, and they've now scored 3 in this game alone, and that's put them up by 10. And to your point, Marcus, I mean, you put it so well. 10-point deficit for Vegas now with 101 seconds left. It feels like too much to overcome.
And what makes it worse is Vegas being a run-first team. You can run a little bit, but you cannot run a ton with only 1:41 on the clock.
No doubt. Price has only thrown for 140 yards in this game. 66 yards away from pay dirt. They need 2 scores, and they have 101 seconds. But all 3 timeouts. Price back to throw, and it misfires for Kirby, but a flag immediately. This is our first time seeing the refereeing crew since the first quarter. And it will be pass interference against John Barnhart, Marcus. Not really a surprise this time.
Gosh, if Kirby would have caught that ball, he probably could have been gone. Which is probably why they'll take the penalty and try again. You know, you don't want to give up a home run.
No doubt. And to your point, there was nobody behind Barnhart, so he almost had to reach out and put up the turnstile to stop him from going forward. Sioux Falls playing without defensive tackle Mike Wagner and strong safety A.J. Levy, both of whom were hurt earlier in this half. Penalty. Levy is now back in for Sioux Falls after that early injury. Price's throw high and corralled by Doug Britton, and an early timeout here for Vegas down by 10.
Interesting choice to use the timeout and not go no huddle. I think they want to talk about it, see if they can make any big plays, get a little bit closer to the other side of the field before they start after run no huddles.
You look at the replacement for Mike Wagner on the line. A.J. Levy is indeed back in for Sioux Falls, trying to protect this 10-point lead. Largest lead tonight for either team. Price right to A.J. Levy. Welcome back to the game. That will seal it for Sioux Falls. Second giveaway for Vegas in the fourth quarter. After neither team had any through the front 3, the Sparrows are going to hold on and win their second game of the season.
How about a welcome back present for A.J. Levy getting back in and getting this the interception that will likely seal this game. You know, with Las Vegas having to switch over to throwing the ball instead of running the ball, I knew it was going to be difficult. And neither team could afford to make a mistake this close to the end of the game. And both quarterbacks were playing such efficient football, too.
No doubt. It's kind of a shame for Eric Price and certainly for Vegas fans. I mean, he played well. Again, wasn't asked to do a ton. Only 13 of 19 now against 42 combined carries for Kimbrell and Taylor Wright. So really a run first and almost a run only approach for the Fury tonight. Not something that we've seen out of them all the time in their franchise's history, Marcus. But I mean, to your point, I think part of the reason that interception was so easy is that made Vegas one-dimensional. You know they're going to have to throw. They're going to have to throw a lot, and Sioux Falls was just ready for it.
And Price has a 68.4% completion percentage in this game, which is great. 1 touchdown and 1 interception, so it's not even bad by any means. It's just unfortunate that the 1 turnover happened to come right at the end of the game.
His completion percentage on the season before today was 62%, so he's one-upped himself. He spread the ball around nicely like always. 3 catches by Blades, 4 by Britton, 5 by Kirby. That's how it's been going for Vegas this season. Extremely balanced passing attack for Price. Kimbrell was sensational again. 200 rushing yards last week, over 150 this week. But Sioux Falls, I mean, full marks to them. This has been a difficult team to figure out. They've allowed 30 points in every game so far. They're going to hold Las Vegas to just 17. And 1 more knee coming up for Julian Tyree, who was nearly perfect today in a lot of facets. Now that will seal it. Tyree takes the knee, and Sioux Falls is going to win. First time this season they've held a team under 30 points. Vegas loses 2 straight for the first time, and the home team wins once again. They are now 10-1 in this all-time matchup. Sioux Falls scores the only points of the second half, and the Sparrows win it 27-17.
You know, you don't want to harp too much on negatives, but coming into this game where Julian Tyree threw 4 interceptions last week, this is not the type of game where he could throw 4 interceptions and continue to win the game. The fact that he had 272 yards, he had 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions allowed them to take that 10-point lead. Because if he had those 4 picks, it's entirely possible that could have been another game that Sioux Falls lost.
You're 100% right. This is something that you mentioned in the third quarter when neither team had a turnover. We both said it felt like as soon as there was one, if there would be one, that would be a critical juncture of the game. And it was. Neither team turned the ball over until the tail end of that fourth quarter. Vegas turned it over twice. Sioux Falls scored that touchdown from Jason Williams after the fumble by Hubba Kimbrell. And that was the key point in the game. There was no chance for Vegas to come back after that.
I think both teams did exceptionally well. You know, you had one turnover from each side. Sioux Falls fumbled the ball and then an interception from Price. But unfortunately for them, you know, that was the one drive you needed efficient football down the field to try to win the game. And they're a good passing team, but they were run first team, so it was a tough sledding for them trying to get down the field.
Well, Vegas will have some tough sledding coming up. They're next against Seattle and then home against Arizona, two of the best teams in the league to the early part of the season. But a lot to like at the start for the Fury, but the Sparrows too good down the stretch. They win by 10. Both teams are now 2-3 through 6 weeks of season 21. That's going to do it for us here from South Dakota. Thank you to our stats team, Stephen Hacker and Joshua Durr. Great job as always. For Cameron Irvine in the studio and for my partner Marcus Dunhill, I've been Tim Hackett. Sioux Falls, your winners tonight, 27-17. We'll see you next time. Until then, so long from South Dakota.